Okay, nothing needs to be done. Anyone, any questions? Regarding the import thing? So after this session, your assignment will be to create a small file, put 5-6 accounts information there, just some dummy data, put some dummy data into that, and then try to do an import. So once the session is over, you can get into that assignment. Alright? The next thing that we have here is export. So exporting data, the way in import we have put the data from an Excel spreadsheet to Salesforce, export will do what? It will take out the data from Salesforce to an Excel spreadsheet, right? So for export, again you need to go to setup, go to data management and say data export. Set up data management, data export, and then you click on, you have two options, you can do an export now or you can schedule an export. So export now is doing an instant export. Schedule export means sometimes it happens that you want to export data on a defined frequency, let's say every week or an every month export. So in case you want to export the data or take a data backup on a regular basis, then you should go to schedule export. If it's a one-time thing, you can do it export now. So exporting the data is again very simple. There is not much which needs to be done here. You just need to click on export now and select which data you want to export. You want to export the leads or the accounts or the opportunities, whatever. So you can export all the data or you can just select which all tables. So these are all tables, right? Leads is a table, account, that is what I was telling you. Accounts is a table, opportunity is a table, right? So you can select what data you want to export and you can start your export process. Let's say I want to export account, then start the export. Okay. So once you select account, what it would do, it would export all the accounts. Okay, all the accounts, all the fields of the account and all the records of the account table. Start the export. Now, what we understand when we do an export, we understand that it will help us take the data out of Salesforce into an Excel format, right? But it does not give you a download file directly. So ideally an export should give me a download file, right? A CSV file or an XLS file. But it does not give us that. Fine. Once you start the export, it says your export has been started and you will receive an email after the export is ready to be downloaded. So at this point of time your export is not ready to download. You will receive an email once your export is ready to be downloaded. So once it is ready to be downloaded, you will receive an email. In that email there will be a link. By clicking on that link, that link will redirect you to this page. It will bring you back to this page. From this page you will have a download link, download URL. You need to click on that URL to download the file. Okay. So it's a little a lengthy process for the export. You click on export, it use the export. Once the file is ready to be downloaded, you receive an email, you click on the link in the email, and then that brings you back on the screen, and here you will have a download URL. Click on the URL and then you will be able to download the file. Okay. Now, why do you think they have put such a long or a little complex process for export? What can be the reason for that? They wanted to make life difficult for people who are working on it. Yeah, Tejasvi has got it right. She says security, right? See, import is something where security is not that much of a matter because you're putting some data into it. But export is where a company or someone can take the data out of your database. And since this is on cloud, anyone can log in into it from anywhere, right? It's a web-based application, right? So if they give you a quick download, anyone can download your data, company's data from anywhere, right? So for that reason, it has a little lengthy process in terms of export. And for the same security reason, the download URL that I'm talking about that will be available here, using which you can download. That download URL will also be available only for 48 hours. See, the export files are available on this page for 48 hours, after which time they are deleted. So it's available only for 48 hours. So if you do not download the export file in 48 hours, that will be deleted, and then again you have to start an export process. So that is again for security purpose. They don't want the download file to be there for ever and all, right? Clear on that? Got it? So we talked about the import and export. Okay. So when you do an import, after your import is done, you receive an email. When you do an export, after your export is processed, you receive an email again. Okay. So let us now, first of all, let me ask you a question. Are we clear on the import and export thing that we just talked about? Do we understand what exactly it is and how it is working? Okay. So in case we are clear with that, let me ask you a question. Do you feel that there are, any challenges, small challenges? And before that, let me ask Vijay. Vijay, did you receive an email after this import was completed? Can you just go and check if you have received an email after the import was done?
Yeah.
You have received that email, right?
Yes, yeah, I did receive. Yeah, it shows result number of accounts created 4, and got a lot of things like number of accounts 0, contacts, and it don't have any link in it.
No, so link will be there for export, not for import,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, I received only one email. That's only for import.
Yeah, so export will take some time, and that is why you have not received that thing. So I'll just make you the presenter. Can you show us the email that you have received after import? Okay. So once you try to, we have understood import and export, right? Now I'm just going to talk a little about the challenges that we might have with this import and export process. So let us look into the import thing. After your import is done, this is the kind of an email that they send to you, right? Now, who can tell me, I mean, is there a challenge if this kind of a report is sent? Do we need any additional information which is not being shared on this email? So it sends us details like how many accounts were created, how many contacts were created, how many accounts were updated, contacts were updated, that sort of thing, right? That is what it gives us. But practically think of it. Let's say right now I was trying to import 4 accounts. If I am trying to import, for example, 1000 accounts, okay, and out of 1000, it's, after the import process is done, if it sends me an email saying that out of 1980 were created and 20 were not created due to errors, okay. Now, do you think that information is fine? I mean, you can work with that much of information? If at the end of it, it simply says that 980 were created and 20 were not created. Now, the big challenge for you will be that which 20 were not created, right? So, if it gives you a detailed log of it, that will be better. But this import wizard does not provide that. It only gives you the numbers, right? That is a challenge, right? Now what will happen?